So what it does is it eliminates the supervisory agreements that are currently in place. And what we found out is that's a national trend that's happening across the country. And then you couple that with the fact that only 40% of our PAs were staying in the state of Iowa. The majority were going to other states where they had more freedom and flexibility to be able to provide services. And healthcare is just, in a very tenable position right now, especially after COVID. And we need to figure out ways that we can provide quality healthcare to Iowans, especially in rural Iowa, where access tends to be more of an issue. Originally, there was some concern about them not having some supervisory capacity, and so there was an agreement that was made that before they could go on their own or without the agreement, they had to put 2 years under their belt with some supervisory component to it. And that, with that in place, there was no opposition, and we were able to get it through both chambers and to be able to sign it today. And as you could tell by those that spoke, this is a game changer for rural hospitals, and it really makes a difference to be able to provide that access to Iowans who need it. We want to make sure that we can do everything we can to maintain health care in rural Iowa.
So that was a big focus of your condition of the state address. Can you talk about how this bill fits into maybe other pieces of legislation seeking to address this issue of expanding access to medical care in rural Iowa?
Yeah, well, we're trying to do loan forgiveness. We're looking at ways that we can do fellowships so that we can drive maternal health. We have centers of excellence that we've stood up. We're going to look for ways to continue to build that out in rural Iowa. The tort reform that we passed, the Med-Mal tort reform, was huge. That really provided, that was driving physicians and just healthcare professionals out of the state as well. We were an outlier, and so that will help us retain and attract. I've had physicians come up to me in different areas and just say thank you for doing that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, especially for OBGYNs. We are dead last on a per capita basis on OBGYNs in the state of Iowa, and so that's another access issue, and we want to be sure that we're attracting and retaining our quality healthcare professionals. And so that there were some other things that we do that we did this legislative session that allows us to draw down more federal dollars, which again will help. A lot of our hospitals are experiencing some losses, and so that will help kind of bridge that gap until they can start to get things kind of back on track, and again try to work ourselves out of COVID. It just takes a while. They were put under a tremendous amount of pressure, our healthcare system was during COVID, and I just can't thank them enough for just the collaboration, and it was just one team effort working together to really serve Iowans during a really difficult and unprecedented time in our country's history.
Governor, while you're working on
special session, depending on the state Supreme Court's ruling on the working.
No, and we're here to talk about the healthcare bill that we just passed in PA. So that's what we're going to focus on today. This is a big day for healthcare. This is a big day for access to rural Iowa. So that's what we're going to focus on.
Governor, everybody, can you address one last question? So,
is it about on topic?
It is on topic.
Okay. Yep.
So, as you're working to bring more of these professionals to the state, what is your response to critics who say your laws, like the anti-LGBT laws, the book bans, are contradictory?
Yeah, thank you so much. So, for the first time in decades, we've actually sent net migration into the state of Iowa, and we're continuing to see that grow. States like Minnesota actually lost 17,000 people net migration out. Illinois lost 280,000 net migration out. And Iowa, for the first time in a decade, had seen almost 7,000 new people moving to the state. I believe that's low. You're going to continue to see those numbers grow. So I'm really excited. Our national profile is rising. We are reducing taxes and regulations. We're building out our healthcare system. We've been recognized as a top 10 state to live, a top 10 state by U.S. News and World Report, top 10, Iowa. So I am excited about what is happening, and I'm excited about our future. Thank you.